Hi. So two big retirement announcements from international cricket has divided the cricketing world into two segments. There is one segment which is outraged by these announcements. They are calling these cricketers selfish, greedy, who have only financial interest in their mind and give a damn to playing for their nation or national pride. While the other segment are looking at cricketers with sympathy, and they are questioning those who are actually questioning these cricketers, because they are saying a cricketer's lifespan is limited and they only can be at the peak of their career for a limited amount of time, and most of these cricketers who are announcing their retirements are playing for the countries whose boards are not financially in a great condition, so they are not paying them the kind of money they deserve for playing international cricket. So in that circumstances, if they can't prioritize T20 franchise leagues and earn enough money, they can't secure their future or their family's future, and then it will be foolish for them in the later period to struggle. So it's better that they do that, and it should be their freedom and their choice to decide how they should prioritize their cricketing career. So we are nobody, and nobody should have a right to make a value judgment about their decisions. So both sides have their own point of view and they have logic, and both of them cannot be called as wrong or completely right, but we will keep it for them to decide. Let us focus on the two major announcements which came and the two players in question. One is Henrik Klaasen. He is 33-year-old. He is a South African. He is one of the biggest white ball cricket stars from South Africa, whose position was always assured and safe and secured in the South African team, both in ODI and T20. And it is bizarre and really baffling, considering he has announced his retirement today. Why bizarre and why baffling? Because barely 1 year from now, he would have played the T20 World Cup for South Africa, a very strong South African team. Considering he had taken South Africa almost to a very close to the T20 World Cup last year in Caribbean against India, and unfortunately a last minute dismissal of him completely changed the match, and then South Africa was deprived of the World Cup. So he would be carrying that regret, he would be carrying that unfulfilled dream in him, and he would have realized they had come so close. So there will be always a chance to really make amends in the next year's World Cup in India and win the World Cup. And considering the World Cup will be in India, where he has been playing so much cricket that India has become his second home because of IPL and other things, so he knows and he has been performing, and he has been a proven performer here. We should not forget how great he has been performing in the IPL for his franchisee, how great he has performed in the 2023 ODI World Cup by playing those explosive knocks, including that one against England at Wankhede Stadium, which almost knocked England out of the World Cup, which eventually they were knocked out, and which took South Africa to the semi-final, where they lost very narrowly. So yes, he has been brilliant in Indian condition. He knows the condition. He would have been a great asset for South Africa, but for some bizarre reason he has retired, and more so because the T20 World Cup is barely 1 year from now in India, and then the ODI World Cup is just 2 years from now in South Africa, which is Klaasen's home country. Just imagine your country, and you are going to have the biggest party in terms of cricket at your country, and you would not be there to represent. It's like having the biggest party at home and you have walked away or you have run away from your own home, which is absolutely baffling, because he could have been there to ensure that the heart-wrenching losses in the ODI World Cup and the T20 World Cup in the last 2 years could have been actually healed, and the scars could have been healed for him, for the fans, and for the South African team, if he would have ensured victory in either of the two World Cups for his team, either the T20 World Cup here or the ODI World Cup in South Africa. What a big moment that could have been. But then we'll never know why he took that decision. He went out. And finance cannot be the only criteria here, because he gets $2.7 million for playing for Sunrisers in India in IPL. Just one league fetches $2.7 million. And the rest of the leagues like South Africa T20 League, the Hundreds, and also the Caribbean T20 League, if you add all the remuneration, it would be around $3.2 to $3.3 million for him per year, which is a pretty decent amount, even considering the lifestyle of a modern day cricketer. So I won't believe that it is because of his financial insecurity or for the settlement of his financial future of his family he has taken, because he could have easily played just 2 to 3 leagues and would have made that kind of money, and he could have still continued to play international cricket. But God knows why he chose to just completely sacrifice international cricket. I don't know what other benefits he can get or how many other franchise leagues he can play and how much money he can make outside the IPL and the hundreds and the Caribbean Premier League. Now let's come to the other player. That is even more baffling because it's Nicholas Pooran, who at 29 was at the peak of his career. He is West Indies' biggest match-winning batter. He is their biggest batter in the ODI as well as T20 format. He is a star. He is a global superstar, in fact. And then he was offered captaincy by West Indies board not so long back. So there is also no proof to tell us that, no evidence to say that he had a friction with the West Indies board, which many of their players have been known to have. So he has a cordial relationship, he has great relationship with his team members, and he has been performing great for West Indies. So it's very surprising that 1 year before the T20 World Cup, where they were once the biggest power, the West Indies team in the 2015-16 era, and where they could have actually tried to win this World Cup and resurrect their sagging fortunes, he had decided to desert the team and the nation and the country by just announcing his retirement. So we can't question that, we cannot make a judgment because we know it is their personal decision of the players, so we have to respect that, but we can only say that we are a little shocked and surprised. But at the same time, now we have to be mentally prepared that many such announcements may come from players, especially from countries outside the top three, that is the India, Australia and England, where financial disparity is evident between international remuneration and playing for the T20 leagues. So we have to be mentally prepared for that. We can just hope that there is enough quality of players, young players, that keep coming from these countries to keep their countries strong enough and stay competitive enough to play international. Otherwise international cricket will go into a coma, which would be very unhealthy and very unwelcome, and it will almost sign the death knell for international cricket, which we don't want. We want international cricket to stay vibrant. So let's hope, for the sake of international cricket, this crisis will roll over and blow over, and finally they will find out a formula where there will be a proper balance maintained between T20 franchise leagues and financial remuneration vis-a-vis playing international cricket for your country. And let's hope that formula is worked out earlier than later, because it's high time that formula is in place. Otherwise the acceleration to this process of retirement will gain more and more momentum. Thank you.